Hey guys, I am in the car driving across Wilmington. I had some time this morning, and I don't have a lot of time when I drive across town where it would be a little bit longer of a vlog, but I've done, the perfume, well, the product video that I did last time. I've done the test on the perfumes. The one from, let me stop. Jeez, these lights. The one from Victoria's Secret, the Very Sexy Beach, Bombshell Beach, whatever it is, that smells so good. But I'm gonna be honest with you, it has the longevity of a body spray, and I do have body sprays that last longer. It's a really, really light scent anyway, but the scent that it gives off smells so good. That's what sold me on it, but it really doesn't last that long. The Mancera Velvet Vanilla, the bubblegum tuberose, does last a long time, but now that perfume's not a powerhouse. Not really. It's a pretty mellow, creamy tuberose, and I guess the vanilla that they've got in it makes it have that bubblegum scent, the sweet bubblegum scent. It smells really good, and it does last. What was the other one? Oh, the Dolce & Gabbana Garden that smells a lot like the MV2 that Mac used to have. Does anybody remember that? I do apologize. I had not been back on that video to read it. I haven't had time. I've been so busy lately, and per usual, but a little bit more busier than normal. So I will try to do that today and reply to any comments that are on there. That Dolce & Gabbana, it does last, but it's just so light that the best part of that entire fragrance is going to be the first hour, that you can actually smell it. So that's kind of the wrap up of the perfumes I was going to tell you guys about. And I do have my glosses out. I've got to find, I know they're not lost, I've just got to find where I've put the MAC pink one and blue one that's like the Jordana pink one and blue one to do a comparison. Does this help? Not much. So I'm going to do that video. And just to give you guys a little bit of an update, I haven't really said a whole lot about it, but I put my house on the market about 3 weeks ago, I believe, for a 6-month contract. And the house was shown not by my realtor, but to other realtors twice. And then the very first time my realtor showed it, she had an offer to me within an hour of what they were going to do, this, that, the closing date, the money they were putting down till their due diligence period was up, which would have been April 26th, but would have closed May 7th, and would have. And so anyway, I get a little bit distracted when something pops up on my phone, sorry. So, they are supposed to be pre-qualified, pre-approved, whatever, before they're taken in my house, and I am supposed to get like a 10 to 12 hour notice. Well, on these people I didn't. I got about a 90-minute notification from just a random like auto text when the appointment is set up, and then my agent actually had texted me on her way 30 minutes before, and I remember sending her a text back. It was a nice text. I sent her a text back, and I said I didn't get a notification about this till an hour ago, and she said, yeah, it was kind of last minute. Well, now I question whether they were even pre-approved, and so again, I've made this very clear since then. But long story short, they loved the house, they wanted the house, they were approved for the loan, but the payments were too high. Well, shouldn't they know that too? Before, I mean, they know the price of the house, they know what their bank's going to do if they're pre-approved, so looks like to me they would know that before they went in there. And I'm going to be honest with you, their payments were lower than my rent. So, yeah, and this is a house near the lake on 3 acres of land, and it's 3 bedroom, 3 bathroom. So, the very next day, okay, so what she did was she sent me the electronic thing to sign that they were out of contract. I don't know if they did it or if she did it so that the house would be, if it's under contract, my understanding, a true blood agent is not really supposed to show it because it's under contract. So some will. So I don't know if she took them out of contract so that any other agent could show it, you know, because that's still a sale for her. But see, she gets all the money if she brings the buyer. So I think that's why she pushed these people. And then I think she rushed them, and then they just simply couldn't afford the house payment. And so anyway, the next day, after we go through this, I get a text that morning that they're supposed to show my house at 4 o'clock. And again, it's like a 1-800 number. It's not her. And so I sent her a text, and I said, in a nice way, I said, I got a text saying that they were showing my house at 4 o'clock today. I said, would you please make sure with whoever is showing it that these people are approved for the loan? And I thought she was like getting a hold of the people and, you know, and this and that and the other, because I didn't hear anything from her for like an hour. I might have made her mad. About an hour later, I got a text back, and she said my people were pre-approved. They just couldn't afford the payments. Well, isn't that kind of the same thing? All right, but here's the deal with that. She already had the, what am I trying to say? The inspection set up for Friday, tomorrow, which means I have to go to my house and pull everything away from my walls so that all outlets and all windows can be inspected. That's a lot of trouble because this is a full house. And it's not a cluttered house, it's just a full house. I have one bedroom that I use kind of as storage of when my mom passed away. And just to clarify, that was not my mom's house. My mom had never been to that house. And I had read where somebody had said that, which was stupid. I never said that was my mom's house. When my mom passed away, she had probably twice as much stuff as I did. And my sister and I got a lot, she had a lot of pricey things, and we got a lot of those things that we wanted, and then we ended up having 2 estate sales, and then we ended up giving a ton of stuff away. That is how much stuff my mom had, but she had a bigger house too, so, but it's that stuff, and that stuff to me, whether it's worth anything, like monetary or not, is worth more to me than some of my things that are expensive, so, like the day that the people said that their loan payments were too high, I was going up to my house that day to, and I've got, my other car is loaded down with boxes, loaded. There's like 25 boxes in my car, and only like 5 are broke down. But that day, I was going after lunch to go down, move everything away from my walls, and fill these boxes up with VIP stuff that I was taking to my townhouse that I knew needed to be with me at this point, because there was going to be inspectors in there, and, you know, more people and more people. The reason I had not left yet, because I'd already told people I was going, the reason that I had not left yet was because it was pouring rain. So I decided to wait until the next morning, which would either have been yesterday morning or the day before. I'm getting my days mixed up now, but that's beside the point. So I decided, I already Googled it. It wasn't going to be raining the next morning, and I don't like to drive in the rain. And so I was going to leave early the next morning and just do it all then. Well, that evening at 5:30 is when she sent me the thing that the payments were going to be too high. So when this next one came up and I sent her a message, I said, would you please make sure these people are approved for the loan? She sent me a message back an hour later, and she said, oh, she could have been in a meeting. It might not have made her mad, but she sent me a message back, and she said that her people were approved for a loan. Payments were too high. Well, then they weren't technically approved for my house. I mean, I don't want a bunch, I'm not calling these people scallywags. It's not these people's fault. I think she slung my house at that point, because look at it like this. The evening before, another realtor had shown my house. The next morning, somebody contacts her about my house. She makes $4,000 if another realtor brings a buyer. She makes $8,000 if she brings the buyer. So I think she slung these people in and talked them into the house, and they go, and you know, and then they can't afford the house. So when I sent her a message back about, you know, please, whoever's showing my house, please make sure they can afford my house or whatever. She sent me that they just couldn't afford the payments. Pretty much the same damn thing. Anyway, she said, but I will let them know. Okay, so about an hour later, I got a notice of cancellation. So the house wasn't showing yesterday. So, you know, are they going against the grain of what I said? I said they need to be pre-approved, and I need 10 to 12 hours notice. She said both of those things were standard. And I know for a fact, even if they're not, you can put that, I mean, you can put that in right. You can put that on your sheet so that any realtor that looks at this house, and I'll give you an example. I looked at a 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom townhouse over the weekend. I think it was Sunday. And we were standing right across the way, the parking lot, from another one. I didn't like the one I looked at all. And it didn't have anything to do with the layout of the room. It was that townhouse. So there was one directly across the parking lot, and that one required a 24-hour notice and only shown on the weekends. My agents that I'm working with here, it's a couple, there's 2 agents, were standing there, looked it up on the MLS listing, or the network, or whatever they have to go to actually see these specifications that, you know, whatever. This is not where I turn. No. And told me this. They literally said that. And so they couldn't show me the house. That is respect. Even though I wanted to see the townhouse, and I was standing 50 feet from it, they couldn't show it to me. And so, you know, it's all, when it boils down to it, it's all respect of the seller. And this woman's just totally disrespecting me. She talked a good game until I signed her as my listing agent. And then she started pointing fingers around. And you don't get bossy with me when it comes to my house. I told her one time, I said, look, lady, I said, it took me 3 years to make the decision to sell my house. And then when it did, I looked for a long time to find an agent to actually list the house with. I said, you know, this, in other words, I put it in a nice way. I didn't use these words, but in other words, I'm being very anal retentive about it, and I'm going to continue to be anal retentive about it. And so that's just how it's going to be. Okay, I opened my console. I shoved everything in here. I'm actually picking up some boxes right now, so I shoved everything in my console. I'm going to go because I'm here. I actually thought it was going to take me longer. If you try to drive that drive in the afternoon, it's in the morning. But if you try to drive that drive in the afternoon, it takes you 30 minutes to get here. Obviously, it doesn't take that long now. So just wanted to fill you guys in on a few things, let you know about the perfumes, if any of you were interested. The one for Victoria, I've noticed that about a lot of Victoria's Secret perfumes. They're just not, they're strong. They're strong, some aren't. This was not. But they don't last long. They're really way overpriced. Actually, their body sprays last as long as their perfumes do. You're basically buying into the Victoria's Secret name. So I'm going to get off here before they think that I'm out here talking to myself, because my friend's actually inside the doctor's office here waiting on me to go get the boxes. So I will talk to you guys very soon. Bye.